Right.
Oh, do we have our folders, our? Or is something to.
Well, I think I'd be filed.
Oh, I need the files? Okay, got it. Great. Okay, welcome to Senate Education. That's 191. I'll draft 2.1. Is that correct, Ms. St. James, 2.1?
Yeah, South St. James Office of Legislative Compilation, draft 2.1 of a strike all amendment to F 191.
And if you would take us through it, kind of a little line by line-ish, so we can just all make sure we're on a good space with this bill.
Sure, and I will just note that I'm booked right at 2 somewhere else, so I'll need to duck out.
I'm sorry.
At 2, I need to be in another committee. And then I'm back with you all later this afternoon. F 191, this is a strike all amendment to S 191 is introduced. This is draft 2.1 of that strike all amendment. It is doing the bill does 2 things. Section 1 amends the advancement grants statute in Title 16 to allow applicants for the advancement grant. I'm on lines 20 and 21, on line 1 or page 1, who qualify for in-state tuition to the Community College of Vermont pursuant to subsection 2185C of this title, to not be ineligible, I'm on page 2 now, for the advancement grant solely on account of the applicant's residency status. And then it requires VSAC to establish policies, procedures, etc. For that section, for this subsection. So this is essentially saying that if you apply for an advancement grant and you meet all of the requirements, whatever they may be, if you are, and I'm just pulling up the statute here. If you are an individual in one of the following categories, if you qualify as a refugee pursuant to 8 U.S.C. section 1101 subdivision A42, if you are granted humanitarian parole to enter the United States under the federal statute addressing humanitarian parole, or if you are issued a special immigrant visa pursuant to the Afghan Allies Protection Act of 2009 as amended, then if you meet all the other eligibility requirements for an advancement grant, you don't have to have been here for a year to qualify. The advancement grant requires residency in Vermont for a year. So this just says, if you meet one of those categories, you are not ineligible just because you haven't been here for a year. So that also means, another way to think about that is, you have to meet all the other requirements in order to be eligible for an advance. Any questions before section 2?
Please. Can you do me a favor, just because I was trying to catch up with you? Could you again outline the subsection D list of eligible applicants?
And this is a cross-reference. Remember, this is a suggestion by VSAC, and this is a cross-reference to section 2185C, which is the determination of residency for tuition purposes and for Vermont state colleges, which has a similar carve-out. They also have a 1-year residency requirement for in-state tuition. And this section of law says, if you qualify as a refugee, if you've been granted humanitarian parole, and or you were issued a special immigrant visa pursuant to the Afghan Allies Protection Act of 2009, you would not only qualify for in-state tuition for the Community College of Vermont, you would also not be ineligible for an advancement grant based on residency. Section 2, we're on page 2, line 5. Notwithstanding any provision of law to the contrary, so this is a piece of session law. A person who qualifies for in-state tuition to the Community College of Vermont pursuant to 16 VSA 2185C, which is what we just walked through, those three categories, shall not be ineligible for the Vermont Incentive Grant Program. Advancement grant is a non-degree, incentive grant is degree. Under program under, and then those are the statutes that apply to the incentive grant program solely on account of that person's residency status. So same thing. Two different grant programs under VFAC. The advancement grant, we're putting it in statute. The incentive grant, subsection B, there's a sunset here. So this is going in session law. And contemplated that the kind of carve out for those three categories of folks would sunset automatically on July 1, 2027.
Senator Sheen, can you remember why we decided to sunset it?
This was, I believe, a request from VSAC, and I'm not. For some reason, I thought in my head that they wanted us to not have. Well, let me back up. So this is currently in law,
No, it was for a year,
and they want to bring it back.
and they want to bring it back. It expired, it was repealed on July 1, 2023, I believe.
So I don't, I wouldn't. I'm not disappointed with the effort to put a sunset. Scenarios change, but yeah, maybe there's no need for it. And then whatever, 4 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
Gets revisited.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was just curious what the logic behind it. Yeah. I just couldn't remember. How are you feeling about it, Senator Sheen?
Yeah, I think it's good.
You ready to be in the hot seat? I don't think it's gonna be that controversial.
Always ready for the hot seat.
That,
As long as I get at
That.
least 6 hours of sleep.
yes,
You too, huh?
that's what we need.
That's right.
Ready to be in the hot seat.
Okay, well, in that respect.
And then in yellow, this is, oh, yes.
Yeah, so I'm proposing that you all amend the title of the bill as well. So the bill is introduced was an act relating to new American advancement grant applicants, and now the bill applies to two different grant programs. So I'm suggesting an act relating to new American educational grant opportunities. We can call it whatever you want.
Any opposition to that? Oh,
It is specific to that theme? Or no? No.
No, it's the three categories that we've talked about: refugee, humanitarian parolee, special immigrant visa pursuant to the Afghan Allies Protection Act.
I guess my only question for Senator Hashim is, do you want to do it the day we come back? Or do you want us to vote on it tomorrow and then you've got an extra day to kind of get ready for it?
I think the one day we get back would be nice.
Okay, so have it up on,
At town meetings on Saturday that I'd like to get ready for instead of having this.
right, totally. So it'll be on notice the day we get back, then you'll have it the next day. So-
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I got you.
Or would you
Yeah.
rather have it just up the day we come back?
I'm fine with either.
Totally up to you. I'm over in.
Wednesday, okay,
Okay,
on notice.
Yep.
Tuesday.
so we will vote this tomorrow, clean copy, unless there's some opposition. Let's go.
All right.
That's good.
Great. Thank you. Fingers crossed, yeah. So if something happens to me tonight, God forbid, we voted on.
Had one going on so far.
Yay.
Let's see how.
Wait, do we have to vote on it?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, right, yeah,
Yeah.
I knew that.
So, yeah,
So I will be back with you all at 3:30.
okay,
See you then.
Okay.
See them.
and then we're just waiting. If you see him in the hall, send him in, Tucker Anderson.
Oh, okay.
And then we have, Jerry Clark. What groups? Great email about this 120. Great text.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's good.
I was like, be in good shape.
Yeah.
Sounds like UVM and the, what is it called?
The network?
The network,
Yeah.
yeah. Like he's in the directive for very good conversations.
Do you guys want to fill us in or not right now?
Thanks, sir. I don't even really know.
Yeah, oh, the only thing that Sarah said in the hall to me yesterday was they've agreed to at least 2 sections that we can move in the house, and pick it up. after they get it. So we'll put it in everyone's, we'll send it around to everybody. And Lindsay, why don't we just, go off right now into our legislation?